Hello, my name is Dan Johnson, and welcome back to the Who podcast. It has been many, many months since this guest appeared. We've done a lot in between. In fact, you haven't turned up since before Flux started.
You haven't
So,
invited me.
well, I thought you were a bit busy.
I'm big, gets 500 subscribers, doesn't need his day one anymore.
Doesn't need him. No. Got Amy instead. This month's special guest is Will, back on the line, but in a
But
slightly
not just
different
me.
place.
Not just me.
There's a cardboard cutout of David Tennant behind you, Will.
No, it's the real one, Dan. It's the real one.
Is it? Make him move,
Yeah.
then. It's like the real thing.
It's like it's actually here.
Yeah. I like how the light's glistening off his face. Like he's had a nice sheen to him. What light? You can't bruise anything. Is your light a dimmer?
What?
Is your light a dimmer?
Yeah, man.
All right. Sorry, I've not seen your uni room.
You can just see his face.
Just the face. Yeah. So Will has been at uni for the last couple of months studying media, and well, he's still there. But I felt like it would be bad of me to kind of get him in and or rely on him to film things in between. So I thought I'd give him a couple of months birth away from it. So Will, there's a lot of stuff you've missed. Then.
Oh yeah, I've missed a lot of stuff, haven't I?
I thought we'd talk about the things that you've missed.
Okay.
So, as we go through, good time for hiccups. As we go through, what do you think of Flux first?
Okay.
Obviously, I know your opinion, but for everyone at home.
Okay, I haven't rewatched it since it came out, so that says a lot. It had two good episodes, but the endings ruined the whole series.
Okay. To be honest, I'm feeling more towards you, how you feel about it now, to be honest. Because I know that we obviously talked about it before, and how much I really liked the last episode and all this kind of stuff.
No, because he's got two more episodes left.
Uh-huh.
We've got Sea Devils and a finale. When the hell is this Timeless Children thing going to actually have a final explanation? It's not going to happen, is it? He's just like, I can't imagine the Sea Devils are going to go, Doctor, by the way, lol, we all lied, because everyone else hated that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a missed opportunity though, isn't it? Because you've got something like Flux that is like a 6-part epic. You could do the epic story of the Doctor's past within that. And pardon?
Sorry, more stuff to come up in the New Year special.
Yes, more things to talk about.
Yes,
that's why I did it in sections, so that you won't get distracted. But
to be honest, I completely forgot about that episode.
Yeah, it's not that high up anymore for me. But I have watched Flux many times. Right? I've seen it about 4 times now.
Okay.
And I have to say, I do like it or admire it for the most part, because I think it is one of the best looking series that we've had.
It's the best Jodie series.
Yeah, it's her best series, and I like Jodie within it. I didn't think I'd be saying that after series 13, but I actually like Jodie within it. I think she has worse episodes than some moments. Oh, she has worse moments than she does good moments. Like the thing in episode 1 when she goes, "What's the flux?" is like really off-putting.
I'm sorry, but I just can't get behind her as a good Doctor. Like, I'm trying to say it's the writing, but it's even her. I can't get behind her. She doesn't become the Doctor. Do you know what I mean?
She's just a very different Doctor, I think.
I know she's different, but like, everyone has had a bit of difference to them, but they still have this authoritative figure about them.
And I think because of the contrast between what she's like, because Jodie says that she's all kind of all over the place. When you have her try and be serious, it doesn't come across as a serious moment as if David Tennant was saying
when
it.
she tries. Oh, I keep going back to the
because they butchered the Doctor a bit, or the character.
Yeah, I think this personally, she doesn't feel like the Doctor to me.
Yeah, that's fair enough, to be honest. But I quite enjoyed her in episode 6. I thought she was good in The Vanquishers, to be honest. Because she had to play the 3 parts, and I quite enjoyed some of the dialogue there. And, and it was kind of the thing that I latched onto as being the best part of the episode.
There are some funny moments. She can deliver funny moments.
Yeah.
But sometimes she puts a bit too much into the funny moments, and the funny moments become cringy moments, which most of her tenure is cringy.
I think should we talk about, I think, the one that we believe to be the best out of the lot between us?
Okay.
War of the Sontarans, am I right? Yeah. Yeah, so I really loved that episode. I think that's a really good one.
I really liked it.
It's a shame that a lot of the ones that I do like within Series 13 are linked to the Flux. Because obviously, so episode 1, I think it was a really good start. Episode 2, I think was brilliant.
Nothing happened.
Episode 3, I've got a bit of a soft spot for, because I quite admire the time stuff. The time stuff in Once Upon a Time. I quite admired that aspect. I've gone a lot off the Angels. Like, the more I've watched it, the more I've disliked the Angels, because the way that it treats the main plot of that story, once it gets onto the Flux stuff, it abandons it all.
The whole Flux thing was just... See, well, it was meant to be an 8-episode run, so this is meant to be Chibnall's... was going to be the finale of Flux, surely. Well,
I think it gets kind of desperate towards the end, because I think it starts off really well, and then as you get towards like the final few episodes, you more
stuff in episode 5. It's like, stop adding stuff.
Yeah, episode 5 and 6 becomes, I think, the point when Chibnall went, "Oh dear, I've only got 2 episodes left. We kind of need to start worming our way and wrapping things up." Yeah,
like, you got rid of Swarm and Azure, but like the whole Flux thing and the whole it's just not wrapped up.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with like the actual endings of like Swarm and Azure. Them getting defeated by time is probably is not necessarily a bad ending. It's because they don't give it any time. It happens, and then we move on. And that's the issue, I think, with that finale, is that on the basis, everything is fine within it, because you have like, you get the conclusion to this, and you get Vinder's kind of like revenge against the Grand Serpent, and you get that kind of element to it. The Sontarans, and they're back, and they're brilliant within the series, and their defeat. But then if you
the Sontarans are brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, apart from the flipping chocolate scene. Apart from that scene, they are brilliant, and they're really cool villains, which is something that Moffat ruined a bit, was that he made them silly, and then Chibnall made them good, and then made them silly again, before making them good again. But the issue with the whole writing thing and the whole 8 episodes was that it meant that things are kind of delivered to you in a way that you just have to go with it. It's like, I destroyed all of your people. Everyone you know is dead. You were the last member of your race. But anyway, we're going to move on and start talking about 2 doctors and how she wants to bang herself. It's not kind of the best storytelling. Yeah. It's just the case you've got so much. But like Carvanista has got like 4 or 5 interesting things about him that we don't get into. Like, I would love to know like his dynamic within his own species and what that means.
We don't.
On his chest, that thing on his chest. What is that? An armor? A crest? Like, what's the culture of that?
So I was watching it goes. Looks a bit like a flaccid willy.
Right, interesting.
Anyway, this is why Dan doesn't invite me back to podcasts. By the way,
that's why you can't come back again. But yeah,
this is my final episode.
But Calvinista is
get this to Dan. What's a reasonable light goal for you?
12.
Get this to 15 likes, and then I host a podcast for 1 episode.
Not by yourself, surely. What, with your own guest, without me here? The Will takeover.
You can find the guest. I host the episode.
I'm not finding the guest. I'm not subjecting someone to that.
Okay, fine. I choose what it's about, and I host it.
With whom?
Whoever I want.
Just David Tennant cut out, and that's it.
Yeah, that should be me at the interview with David Tennant.
Go for it, mate. Well, if this
15
gets 15, then I will give Will the spots of the month of filling up, right? So, of the months is filling up. So you know, if you want to.
Can I do May? That's my birthday month.
I don't know. What month are we on now?
March.
You just say January. If you would like to see Will do a takeover episode, I will literally grant you it, but you have to get 12.
12 likes.
12 or
what about 10?
Okay. I mean, okay, 10 then. 10. You can have 10. If you get 10, if this gets 10, if this gets 10, then yeah, you can host one of the months this year.
Okay.
I don't know which one, probably one during the summer, late summer. But yeah, Series 13, bit of a mess. Yeah, Calvin Easter and elements like that get pushed aside, and they just need to wrap the thing up by the end. So once it's
Jericho and all that, like he's
a cool character actually.
I think he's really cool.
Yeah, but
like he's probably one of the best things of that series.
Yeah.
Could we have just let him go in that episode? Did we have to drag him along? Then that's more characters, more exposition. Do you know what I mean?
I think that if you didn't drag him along, you wouldn't have a very good dynamic for episode 5.
And you wouldn't have had the sacrifice. Yeah, I know, but
as in you wouldn't have, because if it's just Dan and Yaz going around, I don't think that's. I think the third member of that dynamic make it more interesting.
Dan would just be like, "How do Liverpool sounds? Wait, Yaz, mate. I know you're a lesbian, like." And all that stuff.
Although the connection, I'm just going to interrupt the impression because you're probably insulting some people with it. Is that
what insulting Liverpoolians?
Liverpoolians, yeah. There must be another word for Liverpoolians.
It's not Liverpoolians.
If you, it's not, is it? It's Scousers or something like that.
Scousers, yes.
Scousers, that must be because you call people from Manchester Mancunians. You don't call them Liverpoolians. But yeah, I
can do a Yaz thingy because I am now northern.
I have to say you've gone a bit more northern since you left, but you're not even that far north. Will, you're one train trip away.
Everywhere could be one train trip away, Daniel Johnson.
No, because some of them are connections.
Paris is one train trip away. You know what I mean?
I mean, depends. I mean, you can't get it from where we live. This conversation about trains lasted 5 minutes. I'm just going to round it back to series 13. So Flux was had some interesting elements and some promise, but didn't really deliver on all of it. Although I did enjoy the ride. I don't know about you, but did you enjoy just watching it from week to week? Nevertheless,
yeah, I did. I did enjoy having And
I'm glad that Jodie did get some good episodes, as in really good episodes.
The thing is, I wouldn't say none of them are really good. Our version of really good has been lowered so much because of the past 2 series.
Yeah,
that will take what would have been a mediocre episode for DT, Smith, and even Capaldi as brilliant. Do you know what I mean? And when I know I sound like a David Tennant fanboy, but when someone goes back and I do watch his, Smith's, and Capaldi's, and even fucking Eccleston's stuff. Like, I don't watch Jodie's. Their best episodes, they're what people would call 10 out of 10s, stomp on Jodie's best episodes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, if you think about putting them next to each other, there's nothing there for me.
Yeah, that is writing. Hands down, that's writing. Yeah. But
they're just overall I think I feel like there's a lot more safety of the hands the hands that hold those episodes are a lot more safe than Gibnall's hands or whoever might be writing something for the 13th era. I feel like it's a bit of a shame, but I'm happy that she's getting some good stuff and that she's getting some some fans from it and all that kind of stuff, I suppose. But we'll just have to see, because I think for the most part I am quite excited. But Will,
But
Eve of the Daleks exists. Don't forget about that.
was that what it was called?
That was what it was called, though. It was only like 2 months ago.
Oh, again, haven't watched it since it
Have you
came
not?
out. No.
Okay. Oh no, I watched it twice, but I watched it New Year's Day again.
You know what?
So yeah.
Apart from the thing at the end,
Mm-hmm.
it was a light, fun episode.
The thing at the end.
In this one, it was mentioned once that she's a lesbian, bi, in Arachnids of the UK.
Yeah.
Dropped ever since. And then John Bishop goes, you look at her in a funny way, like you want to fuck her. And then apparently that's it. Basmin's happening again.
You have such a way with words, Will.
But it's true, though.
Right.
It hasn't been set up at all.
I think it's been there a few times within Series 13. I think that it's very subtle. Like it's like Lux almost.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a dependence from Yaz to the Doctor all the time.
But there's not come across that Yaz that needs. But no, it shouldn't be the Yaz needs the Doctor. Like Rose didn't need the Doctor.
It's a pretty dependent. Like the power between them is very unstable.
Ooh, that feels weird.
It's like it's almost a toxic relationship in the fact that Yaz is depending on the Doctor as much as she does. It's like, well, it's not, maybe it's not toxic, but it's definitely very one-sided. I'd argue.
Not toxic. It's just not deserved.
So you would have like, but I find it quite sweet though.
I honestly think Yaz and the Doctor have no chemistry.
Right.
They don't come across like they joke well, even when it was going to sound so stupid in my stupid brain, but you can picture Rose and the Doctor, or Tennant, I mean, have kind of still being like how they are when episodes aren't on, if they were real. Do you know what I mean?
They've got more defined. They've got a more defined relationship.
They have more chemistry. They're better characters.
Yeah.
Even though we don't really like the whole Tennant Rose.
No, I can't say I'm into Tennant Rose, to be honest.
I
don't really like Rose that much now I've got older.
I know you used to be, and it used to annoy me.
What, that I used to like Rose?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, no, but
you cried when she left. We all know that.
We all cried.
We all cried.
I cried because my daddy cried.
Anyway,
I'm not doing this again. It's just I don't. They just have. It hasn't been alluded to at all. Obviously, there's been looks, but it's just now apparently suddenly they love each other. The Doctor hasn't even shown that. Fair enough on Yaz's part. We know all that stuff. We know we know that about that. But the Doctor as well. When's the Doctor once shown that she cares like that way for Yaz and isn't just being a friend?
Yes. I think it's just a bit too. It's too little, too late. I think.
The thing is, there's
its placement is weird.
There's lines which the Doctor says like, "There's so many things I want to tell you," and then Yaz says, "Then tell me," or something like that. But that doesn't come off as like, I want you in that way. It comes off as in, I'm keeping the secret from you. And if you swapped Yaz with any other character, that scene would still make sense.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
But I think that, yeah, it's the whole romance is. Do you like Rise of Skywalker was sort of written by Reddit, as the pun goes, as the joke goes? It was written by the internet. I wonder whether the same thing kind of happened here.
Yeah, do you reckon Chibnall put in Thasmin because he saw everyone else going, Thasmin?
Because, like, writers, if they don't know what to do with something, they'll look at, like, this. They're looking at fandom because fandom is incredibly powerful now.
The internet fucking hates the timeless child, and it's still a thing.
Right. Anyway, but I was talking about Yasmin.
Right.
So Yasmin. So when as Chibnall was kind of doing this series, he definitely cares about people that like his show, right? You can't not say that. So when he was writing this series, or maybe even just Eve of the Daleks, he thought, I can do something that the fans want here. And that's when I feel like it came in full force. Maybe he alluded to it a few times in Flux, like in that script, or maybe just between the actors. It was their idea to come up with it because they saw the fandom responding to it. And they all love to sort of queer bait and tease like relationships between characters and stuff. So the fact that it's come to fruition feels like it's just sort of like a fan servicey thing more than other things. But like if you look at Rose and the Doctor,
KFC.
Pardon?
We get a Mackey's, KFC, Taco Bell,
KFC. If you're looking at this, you're never coming on. if
I told you I was going to order food.
You did, yeah. I didn't expect you to disturb me mid train of thought to ask me about flipping KFC. Should I go to McDonald's or a KFC? No, but I wonder whether Yaz was kind of like the whole Thasmin thing was a response to fandom over being something that's been planned out. Because, like, if you look at RTD, the whole Rose and the Ninth Doctor is planned out like from their first series. It's almost that sort of instant connection between the two of them. You know what I mean? Like over the first few episodes, her first half, she kind of becomes infatuated with him. They're in Father's Day, like they're holding hands with each other, and there's that romance there, or at least a relationship. And with Yaz and the Doctor, I don't think that they've had that emotional support. But I'm all for Thasmin, to be honest. I don't see why it shouldn't happen, because a lot of people want it, and it's going to make their day.
Natural by the end of it, fair enough. But if it feels like it's been forced on us because Chibnall's like, this is what the people want, and there hasn't been a thing that if I don't know, because if in this episode they suddenly start all acting all really cutesy and that, it's going to be it's going to be because Chibnall's gone, oh yeah, shit, I need to get them to act all cutesy, and they've never acted like that before. And if they both like each other, why isn't the Doctor acting like that to her? Do you know what I mean? There's just nothing before has been shown about Thasmin to make me now care about it, apart from bang people on the internet. Nothing in the show has been shown.
Yeah, I think it has been.
Going, oh, you see the way she looked at her then?
Yeah, it's a thing that's been inferred through fandom less than through the show itself.
Nothing's been inferred on the show, so I can't get into it.
Yeah, I think that it could make a really good emotional center for this last special, because I think there's only one way it can really end, and that would be like tragedy, and that's it. So I think for a lot of people, that's going to be a huge emotional weight within the episode, for the episodes to come. And I think that's an important thing, to be honest. But as we're on Eve of the Daleks, we literally just talked about Thasmin. What did you think about the Daleks, or just the general plot of that episode? Then?
They're not scary.
What you remember of it, of course.
Okay, they're not scary anymore. I think writers need to stop doing a thing where the Daleks shoot at the Doctor.
I was trying to get you onto this because I wanted to make a point about this, in fact.
The writers shouldn't have the Daleks shoot at the companions or the Doctor.
Well, they should.
Because we just know they're going to miss.
Yeah. But
these Daleks who have gone around killing the whole world, if they can't kill John Bishop, the 40-year-old man who can't run as quick as... Do you know what I mean?
I think that they don't have the majesty within that episode. But if you look at it, and as many people have already said this, I won't go into too much detail about them, but people have pointed out the fact that they're missing complete, hardly any range at all in a narrow corridor, and they're missing multiple shots, and they're not really being outwitted. They're just being
shit.
The Daleks aren't being outwitted. They're just missing because the plot needs them to miss, which is something I don't like.
So these Daleks should only
Yeah.
shoot at people
Yeah.
who can be killed.
Yeah, and I think even like the premise of the episode, I think worked really well. I think the idea that you've kind of got this ticking clock and things winding down in the time loop, Groundhog Day section,
that worked really well.
cool.
I mean, but then I also don't understand how they got that all done in 2 minutes. But
it's not possible. It's where the episode falls apart, which is
physically skip that for now.
Yeah, I think that the episode then does fall apart on that final bit, that final loop, because the Daleks act irrationally because the plot needs them to. They're not learning as much as the characters are learning. Like in one of the loops, they shoot the elevator, so the elevator stops working, right? And they've worked out that element. But then in the final loop,
when she gets back in it, the next loop, shit.
In the next loop, they don't shoot the elevator, and she goes in it. So then it's like, okay, so she didn't do that, and just the entire plan, if you study what they're doing, doesn't make sense. But it's very much a surface level enjoyment of the episode that I have. If I look into it too deeply, it all falls apart. But I do have to say, I did find the characters quite compelling, and I quite enjoyed the story. Otherwise, but I mean, like if you take a look at like the last loop that we talked about, I think the second time I watched it, I realized it didn't make any sense. So the first time I watched it and thought it was really good. And then the second time I watched it, I went, hang on a sec. If in that final loop, Aisling B's character and the other guy, what's he called? Mike? That sounds wrong. They go downstairs, but there's no reason for them to go downstairs because the Doctor and Yaz are actually the ones doing the work because they're going to get this thing. So really, they should have all gone together unless they were distracting the Daleks, but then that didn't make any difference anyway. So it's kind of bizarre in that front. So what else is there for you to talk about over the last couple of months, Will? Is there anything that you would like to talk about yourself that you've done? You want to talk about these rumours, Will? You want to talk about the 14th Doctor?
Well, he's been cast. Or she. Yeah.
I did see. I don't like a lot of this 14th Doctor stuff, by the way. I'm not a fan of.
Until we know more about what RTD. I'm sorry. Before, I'm so fucking happy he's coming back. Good Doctor Who. Like anytime someone mentions he's coming back, I kind of smile. Like,
yeah. Okay.
He's our boy.
I have some concerns about that, but we can talk about that afterwards.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no. I'll talk about them now. So my concern about the RTD2 stuff is I know that RTD is an excellent writer and he's like evolved a lot since you wrote original Doctor Who, but the concern is that it won't live up to that element, and they're going to try and almost live up to that pressure that is unsurmountable because we were kids when it came out. We were like 4 or 5 and we grew up with it, right? And we were up to about 8 or 9 by the time that David Tennant regenerated. So it was never going to be any higher than those earlier episodes for us, unless it is truly, truly brilliant. I mean, we might as well come out of the episodes loving them, right? Because they've probably been because they've been far better.
No, I feel like because now we're older and we actually know the show, we know the lore, we know everything, we can appreciate, because RTD is a fan of the show.
I think we'll appreciate the stories that he can write, but I don't think it will mean as much to us. Like even if you look at like Capaldi's era, for me,
I'm gonna be honest with you, Dan, I don't really remember watching it as a kid.
Do you not? I remember bits. I remember
bits of it, but I don't remember
Series
how
4.
I felt. Yeah, Series 4. Obviously, I remember obviously watching it as a kid when it comes out, but I don't remember like how I felt. Remember, like right now, if a series was genuinely amazing, I would love it more than I have ever loved a series before. Because this is me now, older, knowing the show, grown up with the show, seeing the show there fall down so far, and if it goes back up again, I will love it. Because the show which we both got laughed at for watching and saying we were fans of, suddenly becomes mainstream again, and everyone's like, "This is actually okay." It's not just I watched Doctor Who. Oh, that's cute. Do you know what I mean? Yes.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah, that's cute.
Not.
Like,
No
no, I
one
want.
takes you seriously when you say that you like Doctor Who because it means that you're a
No,
child or that you never leave the house,
exactly.
or
I
that you
mean,
don't
I
have
can't
interest in other
really,
things.
I've got this, so it
Yeah,
kind of ruins. But you know what I
everything
mean?
behind me. But yeah, but
If yeah,
yeah,
if
it's
we
never going to really live up to that, I don't think. But I'm excited for it for sure. I feel like the 60th especially has a lot
you
of
know what,
weight on
even
it.
if he doesn't, sorry, even if he doesn't live up to RTD1, he's lived up 10 times better than what Chibnall's brought us.
Yeah,
And the thing is, what brought Moffat down was complicated storylines that the
yes.
casual viewer couldn't enjoy.
I mean, even
RTD was
us didn't understand them. I don't think anyone understands the Wedding of
you
River
need
Song.
to at least several rewatches to understand
Yeah.
it. And that's after you know the finale. Do you know what I mean? It's just what RTD does is simple, casual viewing episodes of an overarching narrative, Vote Saxon and stuff like that.
Right.
If we have more casual viewing with a good doctor, which people actually like, keep her a woman. Show them that a woman can work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't mind who they really cast, to be honest.
I feel like it has to be a woman. Otherwise, it's going to look like people have gone, that didn't work.
Yeah, I think it would make a weird dent if we go straight back to a man, to be honest. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do that because there's this whole thing about how they're kind of like repairing, and I don't think that that's really the case, to be honest. I don't think that they're going back, going, oh crap, none of this worked. We're gonna have to do it all again because people still like Doctor Who, and there were still people that didn't like RTD's era. And I wouldn't say that the views are particularly down for the series. I mean, they're lower comparatively to what they were in 2005, but so is everything. Streaming now exists.
I know.
You can't judge the two of them. So I wouldn't. I say comparatively, it's still one of the most popular shows.
But it hasn't got the.
But we've definitely got a lot more annoyance.
But okay,
for it.
you say that's down, right? I know this is probably BBC's most popular show, but Line of Duty, stomps on Doctor Who's viewing,
and that's Line of Duty.
What?
Because it's Line of Duty.
But because it's brilliantly written, brilliant characters.
But people didn't like the final episode.
What?
But people didn't like that final episode, though.
No, your final episode, forget about that. But all the others, same year as same year as Doctor or the year before?
It was
and this
year summer.
This year should have done better because it was lockdown.
Yeah,
but
I think that
it's not for casual viewers anymore.
No,
and RTD can do that and bring fantastic stories. What we need is individual episodes.
Yeah, I would love to see some more standard. I mean, if you look at Big Finish, they are making great stories, but obviously the accessibility of them is much lower. But so it's not like the ideas from Doctor Who are completely dried up, because they're not. But yeah, but in terms of actual 14th Doctor, what do you think? Who would you like as the 14th Doctor? Because I don't really have a person in mind. I did see that
the person I've always wanted to play the Doctor is Colin Morgan. I just think he'd do a fantastic
Merlin.
job.
Okay.
Merlin.
Yes.
But I feel like we have to keep it a woman.
Well, we don't have to keep it a woman.
Okay, if we don't have to keep it a woman. You know what? People are always saying Ollie Alexander.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Should we go through some of like the bigger ones that are always at the top of the list? I'll do it. We'll talk about Ollie Alexander. And do you know what I think of him originally? Still, like the entire time that he's been announced as like the possibility, I have thought that he's a really good actor, right? But I don't think he can quite take on the weight of the Doctor just yet in his career.
I can't believe that the first one is David Tennant. Just not, is it?
No, it's not going to. If it is, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Okay, here's the thing. There's these rumors going around that that it's going to be 3 specials, and in them 3 specials will be David and Catherine Tate. Do you believe that? For the 100th.
I don't see why you would want to go
not 100. Sorry, for this 60th.
To it, to be honest.
You
I feel like
why
I don't see why RTD would want to go back to any of that stuff.
But I think that's because that will make he knows because it's the 60th anniversary.
I think that there needs to be
that will get views.
I think because he's mentioned or someone's mentioned that the BBC would like some more Doctor Who in between, because next year we will just get the 60th, which ones I think is fine by me. I'm not that bothered about it. But it just would mean another year gap, and then series 14 begins in
special or starting or it'll be like Spyfall and special, which goes into series.
As in, I think that they'll do it 2 ways, right? We'll have the beginnings of the new Doctor before the 60th, right? And then the 60th features all of the Doctors, including this 14th one. So there'll have to be a kind of special to introduce them, but I'm not quite sure how you'd wriggle that.
The 60th will include the 14th?
The one way of doing it. Then the other way is to ignore the 14th Doctor, or possibly bring them in at like the end of saying, we're celebrating our past, but this is going to be our future, and that's when you introduce the new Doctor.
I think this 60th has to be more in the past of the show and not the future.
Yeah, so then that's when you kind of bring back David Tennant.
Yeah,
because you need a front man, so to speak.
You do. And I think if they brought back him and Catherine,
well, I don't know if I'd exactly want them to go back to that that time.
Series 4 has been the best series. Them two are the best.
It's like nostalgia, though. It's a bit too much nostalgia bait for me. It's like,
you say that, Dan. If that got announced, you'd lose your shit. If that was official that they were coming back, you'd lose your shit.
Yeah, but I'd be reserved that we're going to get maybe not something that I wouldn't like,
something like
series 4 tearing up the past again.
Of the show.
That we're playing around with the past again and bringing it back up, which I think is something that Doctor Who shouldn't do, because if it looks back too much, then it will never move forward.
But it's got to. You've also got to look at it from a BBC standpoint. They know that show's dying,
right?
And they know. Let's think about now. David Tennant. Think about it, right? David Tennant rumored coming back. That news went mental.
But a lot of it was people agreeing.
That was a rumor. That was a rumor that he was coming back, and the news.
Yeah, it was a lot of people going, "That's ridiculous."
What?
It was a lot of people going, "That's ridiculous. I don't want that to happen."
No, it wasn't, though, was it?
Then no, but there's been people for years saying that, bring back David Tennant. Look at comment sections of like Facebook posts, and there's people going, "It's not been as good as since Tom Baker."
Dan, I know there's always going to be people saying it's never as good as when they were. Bring back them for a good show. But when this rumor actually got a bit of traction, and people were like, "This could happen." Like this David Tennant coming back has never got as far as it had now, had it?
As mainstream, yeah.
As mainstream.
Yeah.
Think how mainstream it got. BBC know he gets clicks. He gets views.
But there was also one on Good Morning Britain that wasn't him. It was Ram from Class. The bloke who played him. He was on he wasn't on himself, but he was at the end of a Good Morning Britain thing saying that he could be the next Doctor. Which is fine, to be honest. But there's constant new ones. Like the most recent one is not actually for a Doctor, it's for a companion, but it's Tanya Reynolds from Sex Education. What's her character's name?
So is it the slutty one?
No, the slutty one. The funny, quirky girl that likes aliens.
Oh, from Sex Education?
Yeah.
From Bad Education. Sorry, yeah, I know which one you're on about.
Oh, you got confused. Bad Education. Yeah. Tanya Reynolds. So she's up there for like companion, but there's no real basis behind it or reason behind it. It's just.
But them names come up. did it get brought up as much as when David's did? Like, oh, cool, she could be. When David did, people who even knew he wasn't going to become the Doctor were making videos about how cool it would be and how they would make it work.
Yeah, I think
this
that
has been happening for years that people were saying it's come back, but
Yeah.
now this is like, and the BBC know that. The BBC know the show's dying.
Yeah.
The BBC itself is dying.
Yeah, it's going to lose its TV license
Exactly.
funds.
The BBC itself is dying.
Yeah.
So they're going to pull out all the stops they can get to get people to watch their stuff again.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen this? So the BBC is a weird company. Because
I hate the BBC.
It's a little bit dodgy, and they've kept some things hidden that they shouldn't have done from the public, and called themselves a public institution at the same time. This dates back all the way like to the 80s, and so they're not really a trustworthy company. And obviously they're trying to persuade that they're unbiased and all this kind of stuff, and they're not. But then again, nothing is really unbiased. But I think that if you brought David Tennant back, I think he's going to be back whatever, right? I think that I think that
60th he's back, hands down.
And RTD, if writing a 60th, which he is, or even this special that is yet to be announced or whatever, he's bound to make an appearance before we have a new Doctor, or before we have a new series rather than less than a new Doctor. But I'd be quite happy with his appearance. I just don't want his appearance to be starting off a new Doctor on this is the past. This is what all the past was. Like you say, it needs to be this was the past, and then this is the future. This is the new stuff. And kind of using the past as like a foundation for the old is in the same way that like the 50th talked about these older Doctors that came forward to help Matt Smith. That kind of element in the fact that that Matt Smith was always the Doctor of that story, but he had all of these Doctors helping him.
Why couldn't David be the Doctor? We haven't got we haven't got a Doctor for the 60th. Matt Smith was just the Doctor when the 50th happened.
Yeah,
but we haven't
he
got
just happened
someone
to be.
who is the Doctor.
And if there's no 60th,
he be the main Doctor.
And if there's no new Doctor, then having the 60th with David Tennant is fine, and they'll do what we said earlier, and that would be to have him as the Doctor for that special, because I think introducing a new Doctor in the middle of a special is going to be difficult, because that's not really what we want from a special, is it?
They should not introduce the 14th Doctor.
Because it's a look back on the last 10 years, the past 60 years as well. So with that, I think that it needs to be, you need something to fill the gap, and that's where I think all these 14th Doctor rumours are coming from. But I don't think we're really bothered about who's playing the 14th Doctor themselves, though, are we really?
I've got a list here of possible people, so I'll just go through some of these. Tell me what you think. Ollie Alexander.
Perfectly fine actor, but I don't think he's quite ready in his career to take on such a big role. He's got lots of things to do. He's got music and things, so...
Lydia West.
Quite like Lydia West, to be honest. I wouldn't mind her being the Doctor. There's no reason why she shouldn't be.
Have you noticed that all the people who are now being called up to be the Doctor, people who've been in It's a Sin?
Or have worked with Russell T Davies. Yes, Tanya Miller. Yes. I imagine you've just hovered over. Yeah, she'd be a good Doctor as well.
Oh, God, I can't. Omari Douglas.
You've just read a name, Will. I'm not sure.
Omari Douglas is one of the newer actors, is said to... For consideration for the role, in early November, The Sun reported that he was the new frontrunner for the role. That TV insider called Omari the perfect candidate on so many levels. So outside of saying, he played Roscoe Babatunde in It's a Sin. Fuck's sake.
Oh, him. Right, yeah. Yeah, so...
Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen. Always Michael Sheen. He's Chris Marshall in there. He's always in there. Chris Marshall.
In this one. Danny Dyer.
That was a big rumour a couple of months back, wasn't it? Might have been the Doctor.
Danny Dyer.
I think that, it needs to be... I think it will probably be someone that he's worked with. If not, somebody that we've never heard of before. Or relatively unheard of.
Janaya Miller.
Yeah.
Joe Martin.
No, I don't
You
think
not
that.
think?
I don't think that Joe Martin would want to play.
So what
a
the fuck are
fugitive
they going to
doctor.
do with that doctor then? Are we
I
just going to
wouldn't.
forget that happened?
Well, I wonder whether there'll be some Big Finish stuff about that. Or there's a comic series coming out.
But Dan, you've got to forget.
Sure.
You've got to remember that no one fucking listens to Big Finish. It's just the absolute like casual viewers.
It's the fans that listen
It's
to
the fans. The casual people aren't going to listen to Big Finish. What's he fucking do if Joe Martin gets a Big Finish series? That's not her on the show and what people actually care about.
No, it's not, because but at this point it's like damage control almost. Of if we can't get, presuming that we don't get something like cool with Joe Martin, either way, people want to see more of her as the Doctor.
See more, not hear more.
Or just have more of her stories and have more of the interesting past of the time within the division and stuff. And that's not going to come from the show, because they're clearly not interested in making that kind of stuff unless they do some kind of spin-off that RTD's been talking about, like adding spin-offs and universes to Doctor Who so that we have more shows instead of just one.
Oh, he does want to do spin-offs. Yeah, true.
So maybe that could be the way for it to happen.
Let's just have David back.
Her as the 14th Doctor.
David and Catherine back for a spin-off.
Thing I don't want to explain.
David and Catherine Tate back for a spin-off series.
But as Doctor Who, they are gonna, branding will hate that. We've got two series.
Bring back Torchwood
going on at the same time.
Bring back Torchwood.
John Barrowman or not?
With John Barrowman.
You think?
He's Captain Jack.
I think you'd have to bring him back at some point.
You've got to bring out Evie Miles. Is it Evie Miles?
Eve Miles.
Eve Miles. You've got to bring back her.
And Reese, I presume.
It's just, why do they have to kill a fucking Yanto?
You could set them within. Oh, and then you have to be.
No, you can't.
Limited to 2007 stuff, aren't you? Then, but yeah, it's Doctor Who. No one really dies. You can bring people back.
Michaela Cole. Cole.
Yeah,
He was in Chewing Gum.
She's a very good actress, I have to say.
Reese Ifans.
Reese Ifans.
Yes.
As in the guy that played Rasputin in The Kingsman. And the lizard in Spider-Man. Right, yeah.
Yes.
Sure, why not? He's probably
Richard Ayoade. No.
Sorry.
Lenny
Richard.
James. From The Walking Dead and Line of Duty.
Yeah. Sure.
Lucy Lawless.
Anyway, you're just saying
Vicky
names
McClure.
now. You're just saying names. Vicky McClure, Chris Marshall. Yeah, from Line of Duty. Yeah.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah. Anyway.
Chris Marshall.
Are you really bothered about the face, though, are you, of who actually cast? You're still going about who's actually playing the Doctor or not?
Matt Berry.
Matt Berry. Can't imagine it.
Would you want the Matt Berry playing the Doctor? Father! He enters the TARDIS.
Oh, he would be interesting. I'll give him that. I can't say I want it because it's. Are you really bothered though about who will actually play the Doctor? Like, does it?
I didn't think I was until I saw actually how much of the Doctor's character, like how much a person can act, affects the Doctor, or how they play the Doctor, I should say.
But I quite like Jodie Whittaker as Jodie Whittaker. Yeah,
no, as Jodie Whittaker in other stuff, in Black Mirror, in Broadchurch, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
As the Doctor, I can't get behind it.
It's a weighty role in it. But yeah, for me, I don't really mind who we get at the end of the day. I think that there are a lot of really good candidates like Lydia West.
I think she'll come back.
That could be good.
Russell Tovey, he'd be a good Doctor.
I do like Russell Tovey, to be honest. Now that we've talked about the 14th Doctor, something that we didn't talk about earlier, and luckily this is not a very well structured episode anyway, because of the way that we're doing this kind of more casual talk. What do you think about the game which is what the Edge of Reality, is that the one that we're talking about? Yeah, that's the one. Edge of Reality.
It's not worth my fucking 20 quid at all.
I definitely didn't want to buy the 25 quid version.
Yeah, I weren't paying just to have a different screwdriver.
I don't know how even you've activated that, but
it was in the specials or options. If you bought a screwdriver, it was in options.
Ah,
I haven't played it, so they may have done stuff to fix the game. I played it within the first night of getting it.
they have fixed a lot of stuff within it.
It was very buggy. The story did not interest me at all. David is literally just put in there to go, look, it's David Tennant, buy our game.
That's the kind of concern I have within the 60th, is that he's going to be here's David Tennant, watch this.
But if it's the 60th written by Russell T Davies, I should also add, even if it is here's David Tennant, watch our stuff, it'll be written by RTD, who could still write. So I'm not, if they chuck him in to get people to watch, good idea, because it will. But if they do it because they just want people, fair enough.
I would say about the game that obviously Maze Theory are quite a small developer.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a sense that there's an amateurish element there. You know what I mean?
What I don't get right is, who made the adventure games?
I do not know. Was it T10?
Why? How can we have a better game 10 years ago on really crappy laptops than modern generation consoles?
Well, as I was saying,
laggy, it was slow, it was buggy to hell. So what, they fixed it now, but the amount of frames you dropped when you picked up the flashlight and turned it on, the amount of frames you dropped tracking on the second level was the worst for it.
Your PC was a bit weird, but
my PC was my Xbox.
Oh really? Well, my PS4 when I did it was not too bad, but when I played it and streamed it all, and then I did a review on it, and I think that all of that kind of still stands. There's an amateurish element to it because of all the bugs and stuff, and there's a sense that you're not. If this wasn't a Doctor Who licensed game, I probably wouldn't find it very interesting. But because there are some really beautiful moments within there, like I love the bit with the Weeping Angels in the tombs. That's a pretty cool scene. Yeah, and I enjoyed some of the puzzle bits. I thought they were quite cool.
How did you get away from the Weeping Angels? I did.
What's that?
Fucking run.
You just ran. Well, yeah, run. I ran, and then somebody told me in the stream that that if you switch to the UV light, there's a path that guides you out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how.
Nowhere in the game does it tell you that.
It's a puzzle.
I know, but at least they should have mentioned something earlier in the game that it shows something.
Yeah, actually, I kind of understand what you mean there now.
What was said to make you think, oh, I know it was a puzzle, but no, that the Weeping Angel bit wasn't a puzzle. Well, just look, Weeping Angels.
Yeah, you can just escape that way without.
It's moved. I mean that was cool.
Yeah.
But once the novelty of that dies down, you're left with whatever that was. Nowhere has it told you switch your flashlight to UV to be able to.
But it doesn't tell you. Point.
No, at no point.
But you don't mean within that moment for them to say guide you through it in the way that Red Dead does and says it's over here. You meant that function on the torch is never established for you to pick it up as a clue later on. Okay.
When you get the torch, just somehow mention it in the second level or something.
Correct. But I quite enjoyed elements like that, and I think the TARDIS looked really cool. But what I had issue with, as I mentioned in the review, was the faces of the characters. the shoehorning in of David Tennant that we've mentioned, and the fact that the plot changes drastically into the second, like the final few levels, like pretty rough.
Actually were reality and not time.
Yeah, that weren't part of the original game.
Yeah,
the ones that they've done for this release, I felt were a bit ropey. Or I just didn't enjoy them as much. So that my second playthrough or my second live stream was a lot less enjoyable than the first, because the first I was playing through the game. The second I was playing through these extra tacked on levels with the Cyberman and the Doctor, and there's that whole Madame de Pompadour bit and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
So it's like a different timeline or something. Yeah. So yeah, so I don't know. Is it? I think so. It's licensed.
So that's canon that the Doctor goes off and has kids with. Oh no, that would have been what would have been the life, isn't it? If he.
It's kind of like a what if scenario, yeah. But I found that so I felt it like it was rushed at the end, right? So that's where it kind of gets its amateurish idea. But I can't help but say that I enjoyed seeing like the Cybermen, the Daleks, and the Weeping Angels, and playing through this thing with sonic screwdrivers and finding collectibles and things. But then again, I'm biased because of the fact that I like Doctor Who, and if this wasn't a Doctor Who licensed thing, I really would not care for it.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you.
If
that was just a game, it was a bad game, to be honest, and it disappointed me because I really wanted it to be good.
I didn't expect it to be long, per se, or like a huge open world or anything like that. Like,
I wasn't expecting that either. I was expecting for some replayability, but we didn't get any of that.
You got some collectibles.
Oh,
but that's not really.
What do they do?
Replayability. No.
What do they do?
You're correct.
Nothing. And if you miss one collectible in one certain location, you have to go back and restart the level just before you jump down the hole to fix the elevator.
Right.
If you notice, I think it was like there was a certain collectible, I can't remember what it was, just before you know when you go down the little like tube bit.
The little tube bit.
Here's another thing. Another thing about the game, I remember now playing it. When you go down in the little tube bit to fix the elevator on the second level, once you've got into the spaceship, right? Remember when you go down there and there's 3 panels of green buttons? Nowhere does it say these buttons. Like, how are we meant to know them buttons are clickable? I thought they were just decoration for a bit.
It's a puzzle game. You're supposed to work it out.
No, but that's not the point of a puzzle game. The point of a puzzle game is the lasers. The lasers was a puzzle, right? You can't call it a puzzle game if you don't know what you're supposed to do because it's not explained enough. I don't want my hand held through it, but then also my hand, you say it's a puzzle game, and if you're going by that logic, fair enough, nothing should be explained, but there's other bits where your hand is fucking held walking through that game. The Doctor's going, oh, why don't you Sonic that over there? Oh, grab that.
Oh, yeah. In the first level. Grab that thing. Go and get this.
Yeah.
Go and fetch this. This might be important. Here's the game entirely explained to you because we haven't written a proper game. We've just explained things to you because it'd be too expensive to show you. So that was the edge of reality. I'd have to say, but like I said, it was an experience. I might play it again one day, but I have no sort of desire to do it again. Anyway, too. Quite happy to close the book on that.
Speaking of books, I know it's not Doctor Who.
Okay.
Have you watched Book of Boba Fett?
I have watched Book of Boba Fett.
What do you think?
Right, quick little tangent. So the Book of Boba
It's
Fett.
just when we talk about nerdy stuff. Forget about Doctor Who.
I like that. That was good. If I didn't laugh so loudly, then that would have worked really well. No, so for me, Boba Fett, I think started off really well, and then kind of dwindled at points where it kind of, well, I want to say it started off very intriguingly, right? And I thought this is going to be an interesting series, and then abandons it for Mandalorian.
Season 2.5.
Yeah. And I felt that narratively, that was the worst decision they could possibly do.
Narrative, the worst decision. However, it was the best episodes. Episode 5 was the best episode. And that's a bad thing when someone else's episode becomes your best episode of the Boba Fett series. Do you know what I mean?
Very much so. So I wasn't a fan of that narrative structure. And I couldn't say I was a fan of some of the, the duller moments or the stuff that didn't feel like it was necessary, like the flashbacks. And, that bit when we learned how Boba Fett met Shand and all this kind of stuff. It's like, well, we don't need to know that. Like, we understand how we got to there. You've only got 7 episodes. 2 of them you've used for Mandalorian. Why can't you give Boba Fett a proper structure and a proper story than just relying on flashbacks and the whole Bantha thing? Like, why didn't they just have, fair enough, have like the first few episodes of the Sand People and all that kind of stuff, so we can kind of learn his understanding of why he doesn't like them, and then that could be the focus of the series instead of, oh no, the Pike Syndicate. Oh look, here's Cad Bane. Cad Bane. Oh my god, I love Cad Bane. What are we gonna do with Cad Bane?
Look, guys, watch our stuff now. Yeah. Oh no, he's dead.
So, like, narratively, if you took away the fact that that's Cad Bane, it didn't work very well.
No.
But I have to say, each week I wanted to watch it, and I did enjoy it each week. So
I did enjoy it each week. But then looking back on it, I think I just enjoyed it because it was Star Wars. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it when The Mandalorian got there. So I was bored, and then episode 5 comes out, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I was watching episode 4. I go away for a piss, and then I come back on it, and I hear the voice and go, hold up, hold the phone. I come in, fucking, that was.
Do you know how to pause your television?
Or I can bring you in cold. It's like, hold on. Yeah.
But yes, that is the Book of Boba Fett. I don't know if I keep this in, but we'll see.
Anything else come out which we've watched? Spider-Man, that came out.
So just before we kind of wrap things up, then.
Oh, anything you're looking forward to this year? Just general stuff. Doesn't have to be Doctor Who, but it can be just general nerdy stuff. Doctor Who is also involved.
Guess where I was going? Well, guess I was going for that sentence.
This is why you should let me host it.
Apart from the fact we start mentioning 14th Doctor names for half an hour. But yes, so what are you looking forward to over the next couple of months then, Will?
Radio Regenerating.
Yep. Same. What about Legends of the Sea Devils, Will? You excited for that?
No, because she's still the Doctor.
I'm excited to see the Sea Devils now.
Yeah. But then I haven't seen them. I haven't seen the classic episode of the Sea Devils, so I don't really know about them.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I'm interested about that and what the Sea Devils are going to look like. Apparently, we're going to get like the new 14th Doctor within weeks, but we've had that for months now, so I don't know quite how that's going to look. Whether we'll get one. And I am a bit concerned about all the rumors. I mean, how close or secure is their set and the people working on the show? If
apparently it's going to start filming in April. That's it, and if the 14th Doctor isn't announced, it will easily get leaked.
Yeah. Although the whole Russell T Davies thing, I don't think it was leaked before it came out. I may be wrong there.
Yeah, but that's easy to keep quiet. You'll be filming in public.
No, but as we've said, they probably have filmed, or they're probably filming a 60th, which we'll have to announce
Or I'll just send them a PlayStation.
what's happening there with it. They're going to have to announce David Tennant or something like that before then. So it might not be a 14th Doctor we get first, but like an announcement of, oh, here's David Tennant and he's coming back. Here's his first day on set or whatever, which would be exciting.
When are we getting Good Omens?
I don't know. They're still filming it at the minute.
I thought they're still filming it.
I don't know how much they've got left, though, unless David Tennant, presumably, if he's in it, is going from Good Omens straight to Doctor Who. To making appearances in Doctor Who, anyway. But yeah, so we got that. We got Legend of the Sea Devils, which is something that I'm excited for, but only in the fact that we get the Sea Devils and it's Doctor Who. I'm looking forward to seeing No Way Home.
How much do you reckon Tasman will get spoken about in
Legend of the Sea Devils?
Legend of the Sea Devils?
I think it will go two ways, because knowing Chibnall, right, he likes to ignore things.
Oh my, Dan, Fortnite has got an Uncharted event going on with the two skins. Oh, good Lord.
Excellent. It will happen two ways. You'll get a kind of, I think it will go two ways. You'll either get a complete ignorant. They'll be completely what? I think that they'll either completely ignore Yasmin and the Doctor relationship for a while, or they will actually do something with it. And with the time that they've got left, I hope that they do something with it. So
yeah.
So what are you looking forward to, Will? I was at Multiverse of Madness and that kind of Marvel films that come out. Batman. Well, that'll be out by the time this podcast goes out.
Batman.
Thanks, Will, for your contribution for this episode. I think that's that's a good place to wrap up, because at this point, as you can tell by Will's current pose, his brain has gone to mush.
Batman.
And he's gonna play on his PS4 for a little while.
Batman.
And then he'll probably go to sleep. He does a lot of uni work. Doesn't attend the lectures, but just sort of sits there in the Zoom meetings and just sort of watches people and occasionally shouts Batman. So the commentary for Amy's next episode will be next month. And because I kind of left it on like a cliffhanger last time, and we did Time of Angels, and then this month or next month rather, we're going to be doing what's next? Flesh and Stone. We're going to be doing that episode. I'm kind of getting confused with the filming.
How come you started from 11?
Because I felt like Series 5 would be a good place for Amy to understand.
And then he gets Series 7 and gets the 50th anniversary, and she's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, basically. No, I think what we'll do is we'll do Series 5, and then from there we might jump around, maybe do a bit of David Tennant and stuff. But I thought, like...
You can't do that. If you've started in one place, you can't then go, you know what, might skip this.
Well, I'm kind of on... I think we might do like a couple of David Tennants and then go back to like Series 6.
Right. Okay.
Because I think you get to the point when you're doing, if you watch, like if you look at like Series 6, at the minute, Series 5 is a pretty solid series, so there's plenty to talk about.
Series 6. Apart from Rebel Flesh.
Yeah, so then if you're talking over an episode like Rebel Flesh, it could be a bit dull. So I thought I'd like to shake it up, and for Amy's sake, shake it up a bit as well. Give her some different doctors and stuff. But yes, so Amy's next commentary track is going to be Flesh and Stone, which is the next episode along in Series 5. She's done 4 episodes so far, and her 5th one is when the introduction of the main plot as the 5th series begins. So she has a lot to talk about there.
She met Rory?
She has met Rory. He's in episode 1, isn't he?
No, but proper Rory. Oh, no, he's in Vampires of Venice. Never mind.
He's the one after. Yes. So, Will, speaking of yourself,
Sean,
where can people find you, Will?
Nowhere anymore.
All right. You've changed all your links, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got Nothing. You've got no social medias at the minute.
No.
That's a shame.
Sorry, guys.
Nobody want to follow you anyway.
Well, you know what? I was stuck on 82. I weren't making videos. What's the point?
What's the point?
Know what I mean?
I shouldn't have eaten this because I have to talk now.
I'm just going to wait for you to get big and leech off you.
Okay, fair enough.
So, if you get a good following and then they're like, oh, well, Will should make a channel, I'll bring back Cyber Will. I can't say there'll be videos on there, but I'll bring back the channel.
Right.
So, no pressure, Dan.
Will's just signed my own death warrant.
We
can't let Will make videos. We can't let Will make videos. Dan, subscribe.
Get down to 1 million subscribers, and then Will be back with a fucking video essay, which I've been working on. I say working on, which I worked on for about a couple of months, and then gave up because I hit a wall and just couldn't be bothered to get past it.
So, Will, you've got nothing really.
Nothing.
But what?
I've got nothing left.
But okay. But you want to be an editor. So
yes.
You wanna do a thing with that?
Yes, I will edit for anyone.
Anyone, anything. Give me full access to your entire library.
Give me your, all I need is your social. We don't have social security numbers.
We don't have social security. We've got national insurance numbers.
Yeah, no, I don't care about national insurance. Just give me, your mother's maiden name, the expiry date of your card, and 3 numbers on the back.
And the card number. Yeah, the important thing.
and the card number, and then we'll come to an agreement of what you want for. But honestly, I'll do it in a proper video. But anybody out there who is actually looking for an editor for something simple, my Twitter is @cyberwill2. Just DM me. I'll talk about it. I want to get started in the editing world. I'm actually at uni doing editing, so it's not like I'm shit.
Okay, so Will, you can actually be found on Twitter then.
Yes, I can find on Twitter.
So the last Twitter. 5 minutes of talking about your socials was just a lie.
I have Twitter. I've not deleted Twitter.
Right. Okay.
But I think because that was too much of an effort to change my name to Big Donny Will. Yeah.
Cool. My links are down in the description below. If you want to go and check out some other podcast episodes that we've done, they're going to be down into our link tree, where you can also find all of the platforms that host the podcast currently. I would like to get a couple of more. Will, do you want to do the tradition?
Oh God, here we go. You can find all of our podcasts on Spotify, YouTube, of course.
Okay.
Amazon podcasts. Amazon is anything Amazon.
No.
Apple Podcasts.
No. Otherwise known as
podcasts.
iTunes, but yeah.
Oh, I thought they had a special app for the podcast.
Yeah. Podcasts, the same thing, really.
Okay. iTunes, Spreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Deezer.
Yeah.
iHeartRadio.
Yep.
We Love Podcasts.
I don't think so.
There's one that has it's got a really cringy name. It's got podcast in it.
Podcaster, Podchaser.
That's it. Podcaster, Podchaser.
What else is that I've forgotten?
Spreaker, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Spotify. iTunes.
Well, you don't even need to count them all because they're all down in the link tree below.
The link tree.
Way. That joke gets funnier each time we do it.
I'm going to actually smash it one time and you'll be like, what the fuck? Because I would have revised for that.
You're going to have a look and you're going to find out what we're on so that you'll get them all out.
I'm gonna have a fucking notes ready for that bit of the episode.
Okay, that'll ruin the joke. No,
What?
we've got no other jokes. It's the only one we've got. The only gag that we've got is the fact that we try and pronounce all of our platforms. And like, most of the time, I do get it correctly when you're not here. Correct when you're not here.
You know what? Then just get rid of me.
Right. Will do. But other than that,
45 on this episode, guys. I won't be in it for long.
But other than that, thank you very much for listening. I do hope you enjoyed the podcast. We've got a few good things in here where we got the future of Doctor Who. We've also talked about the past year of Doctor Who. And we've ended up talking about the Book of Boba Fett. So pretty successful. So thank you very much. Pardon?
Spoke about David Tennant.
Talked a lot about David Tennant.
He's the only thing really about now, isn't he?
No other actor, just David Tennant. That's all we've got.
Yeah, I would shout David Tennant.
Anyway, we'll just move on from
You're
there.
telling me, Dan, you wouldn't. You would. Come on, let's be honest, you would.
I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
I'm not sexually attracted to David Tennant.
I am.
As we've established.
And I take no shame in that.
Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video.
Oh my God.
I hope to see you next month, if this doesn't put you off. But other than that, goodbye.
Bye-bye. Sorry, Dan. I remember why you don't have me on your podcasts now.